Yo, what is up, Mog Squad? And in today's video, we are going to be going over my 1000 plus shiny collection. So to start off, we are going to go ahead and just go into my account. We're going to search shiny, and then we'll probably do it by, let's do it by number. Let's do it the other number though. Okay, so starting off, we're starting with the very first Pokemon in the Pokédex, and we do have a couple Bulbasaurs. So we have this just regular Bulbasaur, and he is named after a subscriber. So if you see the tag right there, if you want to join my Mog Squad, all you got to do is leave the Pokemon's name down in the comments section, and you can join the Mog Squad. I will put that name on the Pokemon that you want, and I will go ahead and do that and add that in until I can start live streaming. Then I'll start doing it on my live streams when I actually catch the shinies. And speaking of, I'm working on hitting 1,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you guys subscribed. I'm trying to hit that by December, and if I could hit that by December, I could start live streaming during the Christmas events. So that would be pretty cool and pretty fun, I feel like. So I would appreciate it if you guys left a like and subscribed. But moving on, we have a shiny Bulbasaur with a hat. I believe this is from 2020 Go Fest. Actually, I got it in a trade from my buddy. I think he got a couple of these, and I got a couple of the other guys, the other starters. So we ended up doing a couple trades for those. As you can see, I got a Venusaur, 2 Venusaurs. Now we go on to the Charmanders. I don't have any costume Charmanders, which is kind of annoying. I've been grinding for a while to try and get one, but it's just the events have been pretty bad. Squirtle, honestly, not my favorite shiny. I like the green shell, but other than that, if you just see it in the wild, the pink eyes are kind of the only thing. So that's not really too... It doesn't really pop out to me as a shiny. Here's one of the other shinies that I got with the hat from 2020. And here we got my Mega one. Here we got Caterpie, which is one of my favorite shinies for whatever reason. I just love the shiny Caterpie. And I actually have a whole little Caterpie army. I have like a couple. I keep the extra large and the extra small Caterpies just because I think they're funny. So we got a couple shiny Caterpies. We got a Metapod, the Butterfree, of course, which if you guys know, you know, the OGs from the show back in the day, one of the saddest episodes ever. But now we got some Weedles, Kakuna, you know, we got the Beedrills, Pidgeys, Pidgeot, and this was my first Nundo, which is insane to say because I have 2 shiny Nundos, but I have yet to get a Shundo, even though I am working on my bottle cap. It's not the same thing like as actually catching a Shundo. But yeah, so this is my first Nundo. I debated on like evolving it for a while, but I mean it's not really useful, and I feel like the shiny Rat is just better than the Raticate, because I mean Raticate's low-key one of the most pointless Pokemons in my opinion. Don't come after me in the comment section because I'm not a huge fan of Raticate, okay? But moving on, we actually have a shiny Raticate. I'm not going to check the IVs on all of them, but I actually caught this Sparrow while it was a Sparrow at first. I caught it in the hospital when I was actually going through some pretty bad medical times, and I opened Pokemon Go, funny enough, and one of the first Pokemon I caught was a shiny Sparrow, so that was pretty funny. Now we got this Arbok, which is named after a sub. And then here's the Pikachus. Now this is where stuff starts getting crazy because I've got a ton of shiny Pikachus from all sorts of different events. So starting off, we have this Pikachu, which is from GoFest Day 1, 2021. And honestly, the hat, it's a little underwhelming, I feel like, for a GoFest. But nonetheless, it's a shiny Pikachu with a hat. We got 2 of those. And then we got Detective Pikachu. This is one of my most favorite shiny Pikachus that I have in my collection. I actually don't have shiny Raichu, as you can see. I don't have a regular Pikachu, which is kind of funny, but I have a ton of these shiny Pikachus with events. So yeah, whenever this guy came back out, I grinded to get it. So I actually got it, and after that I stopped grinding because I was grinding for a long time. I think this is another GoFest. Yeah, we got GoFest 2022. GoFest 2024, I believe. Oh, let's go Tour. So speaking of, I am going to be grinding the event that's coming up in about a month, which involves all the mighty Pokemon. And this is actually my second Nundo. Sorry, I had to kind of randomly go on a rant and then cut it off, but this is insane. This is probably one of my most rare Pokemon in my collection. It's the shiny Pikachu from GoFest with the hat, and it's a Nundo. So this is insane. That alone, without it being shiny, is insane, but the fact that it's shiny is just absolutely wild. But yeah, I am going to be playing the Wild Tour, I believe is what it's called, in a month. So I really, really hope I can start live streaming by that time, because that would be a perfect time to start live streaming. That event was really fun last year, the Go Wild event. So let's hope we can do that again. So we got all these Pikachus from the event. We got a bunch of Pikachus with hats. And then these guys. These are actually probably my favorite Go Fest Pikachus, just because they have a full-on costume. Like, these are cool, but like they're so underwhelming in my opinion. You just give it a crown and, you know, that's it. But now we got Sandshrew, Sandslash, Nidoqueen, Nidoran, Nidorina, Nidoking. Then we got a Clefable. This is actually one of the last ones that I needed for my Pokédex, because I'm working on completing the first 150 Pokemon in the Pokédex, and I actually only need like 4 or 5 more. I need I know for sure I need Seal and Dugong. I also need Mr. Mime. I need a couple more that I just can't remember off the top of my head. So now we got Vulpix, is such a good shiny. We got the Alolan Ninetales, and here we got a Wigglytuff, another Wigglytuff, a Vileplume, Venomoth. I actually love Venomoth. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, funny enough. We got the Dugtrio, which is such a odd shiny. Then we got Meowth, another Meowth, a Persian, Psyduck, which is named after a subscriber, so that's pretty funny. Then I actually caught this event Psyduck, and I'm really happy because I got it on like my 5th encounter, which is insane. But this is probably one of my favorite costume shinies of all time. It's just so derpy and perfect. Like, it's such a good shiny costume. Then we got our Golduck, the Mankeys, Primeape. Then we got a Hisuian Arcanine, which is pretty cool. We got our Polys and the Abras. Now, I actually honestly don't like this shiny line. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section, but like, to me, this is so boring. Like, they could have done such a better shiny color palette on these ones, because it is a very meta Pokemon. People often talk about Alakazam, and I mean, Alakazam's a little bit better because it's got pink, but I feel like they could have done so much better with this lineup. But yeah, and then we go on to the Machokes, Machamps, all of the good stuff. And shout out to Tony TM. If you know, you know. And we got Weepin' Bell, we got Victory Bell, we got Tentacruel, Geodudes. I believe this is Alolan Geodude. I'm not sure. I honestly mix up a lot of the Alolan, Galarian, Hisuian, all that kind of stuff, just because there's so many. But here we got I believe this is Galarian Ponyta. We got a regular Rapidash. I actually didn't play the Calm Day, so the fact that I don't think any of these are from the Calm Day. My buddy, he ended up trading me a regular Ponyta, and then I evolved it, and now we got the Slowpoke lineup. As you can see, I also did, when I was grinding, I caught a ton of these Detective Pikachu shiny Slowpokes, so that's kind of funny. And then I believe there was a Calm Day for it. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe there wasn't. Maybe there was and I didn't play it. I'm not really too sure about that. But here we got some Magnemites, and we have a ton of Grimers. And same with Ghastly. We don't even want to talk about Ghastly. I got like 40 shiny Ghastlys. Oh, I did not know I had a level 1 shiny Ghastly, though. That's actually kind of cool. What are the IVs? Oh, nice. That's sounds about right. That's actually really cool, though. I didn't even know I had that. Here's the Haunters. Here's the Gengars. And now we're on to Onyx. There's a Krabby, a Kingler, the Voltorbs. I don't think... Oh, I did. Honestly, I didn't know I caught a regular shiny Voltorb. And I guess I evolved it, but... yeah, that was already a while ago, so that makes sense. We got the Executor, and the Alolan. 2 Alolans. Here we got a Cubone, which is funny. I actually did not have this shiny until, I mean, you can see the catch date on it, but I think it's kind of funny that it took that long to catch the shiny. I had caught a couple of these, though. I mean, as you can see, it took me 4 years to get another shiny from the lineup, so that's just kind of, that's funny that it took that long. And we got a Hitmonchan. This is actually a really cool shiny. I think I caught 2 of these, and then I traded one to my buddy. He didn't end up catching one. And then this, if you guys know how hard I've been grinding for shadows, you know that my shadow shiny luck is insanely terrible. This is my only shiny shadow that I have in my entire collection. And don't get me wrong, this is one of the best ones I think I could have got. This is such a cool shiny shadow. But I have over like 1,300 rocket radars done. At least 1,300. I have 1 shiny. So I don't know what my luck is, because it's supposed to be like 1 in 64 or something, I believe, for the... It's like the same odds as raids, I believe, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on it, but I should have way more than 1 shiny, and the fact that I grinded, and, you know, I got this guy, which is really cool because I actually really wanted this shiny, and it kind of surprised me when I caught it, but still, that's just insane. We got our Rhyhorn, which, honestly, I haven't caught one of these in a long time. Then we got our Chanseys. We got a ton of Chanseys, so... Kangaskhan, one of my favorite shinies. I actually didn't get that one till this year. That's why it doesn't have the date on it. But yeah, I think I got this during the Mega Raid Day. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was during the Raid Day. And then we got a Horsey, the Seeking, a couple Scythers. I actually have good luck with Scyther. Same with Electabuzz. I have a ton of shiny Electabuzz. Same with Magmar. We're going to keep on going through... Pinsir. So this is one of my newest shiny luckies. Up until this year, I only had like 2 or 3 shiny luckies, but this year alone, I've gotten like 10. So it's mainly because of the lucky trinkets, but this was almost my first Shundo. As you can see, I got a 98. You know, this was a really fun trade, and it was worth it. We just Pinsir swapped. Mine was crazy good, and his was, you know, normal shiny lucky trade luck, but... then we go on and we got Tauros, which actually is a pretty rare shiny. I don't see it in many people's collections. So if you guys do have this one, let me know. That is pretty cool. And I actually caught another one this year. So it took me 5 years to catch another one, which is saying something because these spawn quite a lot where I'm at. We got a ton of Magikarp. We don't gotta look through all of these guys. So yeah, let's keep on moving. There we got our shiny Gyarados. Now this is obviously one of the most known shinies in all of Pokemon, just because it's super, it's everywhere. But yeah, I got a bunch of shiny Gyarados, and then we got some Dittos. I actually did one of these during the, maybe it was probably this one. One of these was from an event, or from a research task. It's weird that it's not showing up. Also, ignore the name, dude. That was something I can't go over, but let's go ahead and look through the shiny Eevees and move on past the shiny Ditto. As you can see, I have a bajillion shiny Eevees. I have way too many shiny Eevees. I've even evolved a ton of them, so I'm sure that's what we're going to see right after that. Here's one of my other shiny costumes. This is actually a really cool one, but I am upset because I wanted the ones that could evolve. But at the end of the day, shiny Eevee with a hat, still really cool. Then we got our Vaporeons. This was my first shiny lucky, and it was a random shiny trade. We actually didn't have lucky friends. This was a long time ago. One of my OG shiny buddies. This is really cool. Then we got some more shiny Vaporeons. I told you I had a lot of shiny Eevees, so now we're moving on from the Eevees, and we're going on to Porygon. Now, I am going to kind of go through some of these fast just because I have so many, but this one's pretty cool. I'm going to point out for sure some of the notable ones and anything that kind of like stands out, but other than that, we're going to kind of just go through all of the shinies as fast as we can, just so that way the video isn't, you know, 8 hours long. So we got a Omastar, then we got our Kabutops, which I actually caught the Kabuto this year, and I evolved it for the shiny dex. This is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's just such a cool, kind of like unique Pokemon, and it looks really odd. Like, I feel like I never see anything about Kabutops. Then we got our Aerodactyl. Then we got this guy. Now, this was such an annoying Pokemon to grind out. I probably did 70 plus raids for this. Maybe closer to 60, but in between like 60 or 70 raids. And I finally got it. I was not gonna let the event go on without me catching the shiny. I wanted it so bad, and it was the first time I had like a good chance of getting shiny Snorlax, because there's not like many events where Snorlax is just spawning everywhere. Here we go. So this is the guy that I'm using my bottle cap on. I have one challenge left. I got to do 4 raids with him, and I don't know what to do because this guy is the shiny background that you have one encounter to get. He's an extra small, and my subscribers actually are the ones that kind of convinced me that this was a good one to use my bottle cap on. So I used it on this, and then funny enough, I got the Moltres, and then I didn't get the Zapdos, but I got the what's that other guy's name? We'll come around to it, but I got 3 of the 4 shiny background encounters, so it's kind of crazy. So now we got shiny Mew. This is a very annoying shiny to grind out. So if you guys caught this challenge back in the day, I think they actually released it again, possibly. But I grinded this challenge whenever it first came out, and then I had probably had to grind it for a couple, like 2 or 3 years until I actually got the shiny, if I remember right. Then we got a Meganium, we got some Cyndaquil, Typhlosion, Hisuian Typhlosion, which I actually did a couple raids during I think it had a raid day or something. Here we got our shiny Totodiles. There's the Feraligatr, Sentret, and Furret. Then we got Noctowl. And if you are an OG of Pokemon fans, then you guys know that Ash actually had a shiny Noctowl in his collection back in the day. So yeah, that's just a cool little fun fact about shiny Noctowl. Then we got a couple Ladybuzz, a Lady In. Then we got our Crobats, Chinchous, Lantern, Togepi. I used to love shiny Togepi, and after I think I got rid of a bunch of these Togetics because there was like a whole calm day for it. There's the Mareeps. We are going to skip through the Mareeps because we have 7,000 shiny Mareeps. So let's go ahead and skip past all of these guys and the Flaffies and the Ampharos. Now we are onto the Blossom and the Merrills. If you guys know, back in the day, there was actually an event where I think it was a research day for shiny Marill, and that's the only time I've ever gotten these. Oh, wait. Huh. I guess I caught one this year. I actually did not even know that. But here we are on to the Sudowoodos, which I believe I just got this during GoFest. Yeah, I caught this on the day of GoFest, like 20 minutes before GoFest even started. So that was my first time that I ended up encountering that. Let's go ahead and go through these. Sunkern. I actually love this shiny color. This is such a cool shiny. Then we got, okay, I don't want you guys to freak out about my Wooper collection, but when I grinded this Wooper Calm Day, I actually grinded, and I caught an insane amount of freaking, bro, like, I also evolved a lot of them into the Clodsires, so we'll see those when they come around, but that was just crazy how many I got from that event. But now we are on to fan favorite Pokemon. We got the Espeon. I know I have one with the scarf. Yeah, we got the Espeon with the scarf, which is pretty cool. Now we are on to Umbreons, and I also got the Umbreon with the scarf, so that's pretty cool. Now we got some Slowkings, the Unknowns. Now these are one of my favorite shinies. Just because one Unknown was one of my favorite cards whenever I was collecting all the cards. From like 2007, I believe, is whenever they had all the Unknown cards coming out. And it's such a cool shiny. Like, I have a bunch of them too, which is fun. We got Girafarig, which I caught during a Spotlight Hour at the last like 10 minutes. And it also has 999 CP, RIP Juice, if you are a legend and you know. Let's go ahead and look at the rest. We got Pineco Fortress. Honestly, I don't understand why Pineco evolves into Fortress. It doesn't really make sense to me. But, yeah. Then we got Dunsparce, and they actually just came out with the Dunsparce, and now I have one, which is kind of cool. But, again, not really anything like insane from, you know, anything just insane. But now we are moving on. I know Scissor's a fan favorite. We got a couple of those. Shuckle's one of my favorites because Turtle's my favorite animal. So I grind whenever they have turtle events out just because it's one of my favorite shinies. Heracross, same thing, one of my favorite shinies. I grinded to get this in raids. So we got a bunch of Sneasels. Let's go ahead and skip past these guys. Same thing with these. These are Hisuian Sneasels. Swinubs. We got a ton of Swinubs. Piloswine. Now, this is one of my favorite shinies in my collection. I would say this is probably going to be in my top 10 favorite shinies just because, one, I love shiny Corsola. Corsola is one of my favorite Pokemon as well. I know I say that about a ton of Pokemon, and you guys are probably going to be like, oh, you say that about every Pokemon. But no, this is actually one of my favorite Pokemon, and it's actually named after a long-time subscriber who's been following me since like 30 subscribers. So I really do appreciate you, Zyrox. That's pretty cool that I will always for sure remember you guys if you are in my Mog squad. So don't think like, oh, he's just, another YouTuber. He's not really going to pay attention. But no, I actually do. This is something I do kind of just for fun. And I do appreciate everybody that is following with me through this journey. So yeah, now we moving on to the Houndooms, the Kingdras. Here's Porygon. Twos. I actually caught these, if you can look at the date, I caught them 1 day apart, which is insane. I haven't caught one since 2023, but I caught them literally back to back, which is kind of funny. Then we got Tyrogue, which I got from hatching. And then I got another one from the same thing. I believe I hatched both of them. And we got a Hitmontop. And then we got an extra large shiny Magby, which is actually really cool. Then we got some Blissies, Larvitars, Tyranitar. Here we got a shiny Lucky Lugia, which is pretty cool. This is another one of my early shiny Luckies. Then we got another shiny Lugia, then Celebi, which came from a challenge. And now we got Blaziken, Mudkip, Swampert. And I go on runs all the time because I was in cross country, so I was for a while naming some of my shinies after when I was on my runs. Now we got Mightyena, Zigzagoon, ton of Zigzagoon, Wurmple. Now this was actually a new shiny that I got in my collection, something that I had been grinding for a while during the party events, but I never really get them. So the fact that I got this one in the wild randomly was just pretty fun. Then we got some Lotads. We got the full line right there. Then we got some Seedots, which honestly, this is such a cool shiny. But I haven't caught one in like years. So yeah, it's a pretty fun shiny. But then we got these guys, which are a little bit like obscure, all three of these. And now we got this was from the raid day that came with, I believe it was shiny. What was the other one? There was this one and another Pokemon that came out during that raid day, which was kind of random, but still cool. Then we got a bunch of random obscure shinies. Like these guys are pretty rare. I think both of these guys are really rare, actually. I don't really know how rare these guys are, but I just know that not a lot of people have them. And then we got Roselias, a ton of these. Then we got a Swalot, which is a pretty cool shiny. Then we are moving on to the Carvana, Whalmer. Now, the Whale Lord is one of my favorite Pokemon just because it's so funny and like derpy. But yeah, I've always liked this Pokemon. I was trying to get a master set of all the Whale Lord cards, but I ended up just stopping because some of them were really expensive. So now we got Shiny Torkoal. Now this is another new one, part of the collection this year. As you can see, I did a lucky trade just because it's one of my favorite Pokemon. As I said, I love the turtle Pokemon. They're so cool. So now we're moving on to the other random Pokemon that I got from my shiny collection. And again, don't forget, you can become part of the Mog Squad. All you got to do is leave a like, subscribe, leave your name down below, whatever you want the Pokemon to be named after, and then just name the Pokemon. So like if you wanted to be this cast form, just leave cast form. And if your name's Jake, just be like, hey, my name's Jake, I want to be named after a cast form. Then I would add you to the Mog Squad. And first come, first serve. Whenever we get filled up or however this works, I am going to just start doing it when I start going live. But as of right now, I am small enough on my channel to where I have the ability to get some support from you guys. So this is just something I feel like it's really fun to do, and I feel more connected with you guys whenever we get some more people added to the Mog Squad. I honestly forgot that I had this. So this is such a really unique shiny because I know many people don't have it. You have to evolve a Clamperl and get lucky because I believe Clamperl evolves into 2 Pokemon. It's this one and Huntail, I believe, that the possibilities. And here are a bunch of shiny Bagons. I think this was a Calm Day. Yeah, Community Day Classic for Bagon. I actually didn't play the community days before 2020. I didn't play any sort of event before 2020. After 2020 hit, I started grinding, and that's just kind of when everything took off, mainly because COVID was crazy and I had a lot of time to go on walks. But now we got the Metagross line. Here we got a shiny Regice, a shiny Registeel. Then we got shiny Latios, shiny Kyogre. So here's a bunch of the legendary shinies, so this is pretty cool. Now we got shiny Rayquaza. And yes, I say Rayquaza. I'm not saying Rayquaza because I've said it Rayquaza my entire life. But you can come at me if you want. I will always say Rayquaza. And I got a couple of those. We got a level 1 shiny Turtwig, and I believe I don't have many Turtwigs. Yeah, I've only got 2. Then we got Chimchar, same thing. I don't have many Chimchars. Piplups, I guess, is the same thing also. Bidoof, this is a shiny I grinded for. There was actually an event where Bidoof was spawning a lot and had a shiny increase. So I grinded that for like 2 or 3 hours, and I ended up getting the shiny, so that was pretty cool. Now we got some Cricketots, Cricketoon, Shinx, a bunch of Shinx. Yeah, I think this was a Calm Day probably. And then we got some Roserades, Burmy, which I evolved into Wormadam. Bastiodon is also another really cool shiny that I feel like is pretty slept on. Now we got Combi. We got the shinies whenever I was grinding in Oklahoma City. We got Pachirisu. Now we got some other, like this Cherubi, I'm pretty sure is really rare. Not many people talk about it just because it's not really meta or, relevant. But it's still a really cool shiny. Then we got Ambipom, Drifloon. Then we got Baniri with this one actually has the costume on it. And I think I have a couple of these. It's kind of a common shiny to get, I feel like, Baniri. And now I got some Honchkrow, a Honchkrow. Then I got Stunky, Skuntank, Bronzong, and a couple of them. Bonzi, this is another brand new Pokemon in my collection. I caught 2 of them this year, or hatched both of them actually, which was pretty funny because I think I hatched them like recently, like a month from each other, which was pretty cool. Then we got shiny Happiny, which I also hatched. We got the Gibbles, which was a Calm Day back in the day. So now, oh, this is only 2024. Yeah, there's the 2021. I think there was also like an event in 2021 where I caught a couple. So then we got these guys. Then we got Mega Lucario. We got the Hippowdon, Scorpy, Drapion, Croagunk, and this was actually my first shiny. It was a shiny Croagunk, and I caught it in 2020. As you can see, this was my very first shiny. It will always be named first shiny, so I will not be changing the name on this guy. But yeah, it's pretty cool that I caught my first shiny. Let's see, what is it? Almost 6 years ago now. But yeah, and then we got shiny Snover. We got Weevils, or Weavile, however you pronounce it. And then this is actually, I named this guy after my friend just because it looks funny, and yeah. So then we got Rhyperior, then we got an Electivire. I think some of these are from the Mighty Pokemon. Yeah, this might be from the Mighty. Yep, Go Wild. Actually, that might mean this was a really good one. Yeah, 96. Or, yeah, 96. But yeah, like I said, I really wish I would get my first Shundo. I've been grinding hard for it. I have 1,000 plus shinies, and I have yet to get a Shundo. But 2 shiny Nundos is the math isn't adding up. And let's go ahead and just go through these evolutions real quick, just because everybody loves the evolutions. Then we got a Gliscor. Then we got Mamoswine, Porygon Z's, Dusknor, Beanie Boy, which is a subscriber. This is actually a Mesprit, I believe. There's Mesprit, Uxie, and I forget the other ones. Oh, a Zelf. Then we got a Dialga, which is a 96. And this is actually named after Tony because he sent me the raid invite. If you don't know Tony, he's a YouTuber as well. He's been on the come up in the last like year, but me and him were friends on Pokemon Go for a while, but we both ran out of inventory, so he unadded me, unfortunately. But it's not, no hate, no hate. It's because mainly I was one of his members, and so he added me through that way, because like I guess if a long time ago he did this thing where if you were a member he would add you, and I don't know if he still does it because I haven't been up to date on him recently. But yeah, he sent me an invite to this raid and I named it after him. Tony is from Tony TM. He is really cool. You should definitely go check his videos out if you haven't seen him yet. Then we got a Palkia, then we got Regigigas, Cresselia, Darkrai, Shaman, which was such an annoying grind for challenges. Then we got, a bunch of Snivies. I actually had a Shundo Snivy run from me. It was a call out and it was shiny and it ran from me. So that's a pretty fun story to tell from that community day. Then we got some Tepig, which I believe was also a community day. We got Oshawott. I'm not sure. I honestly, I think all the starters have been in some sort of event or community day. Definitely for that one. Then we got a Stoutland, which is another pretty uncommon shiny that you see in collections. Here we got a Liepard, Musharna, Unfezant, Roggenrola, Gigalith, this is pretty meta relevant. We got Swoobat, Excadrill, Audino, bunch of Timbers. There was like a calm day, I believe, for Timber. Yeah, there definitely was, now that I'm thinking about it. So that was fun. We got Sock, which is actually a really rare shiny. I caught this during GoFest, yeah, day 1. Leavanny, Venipede, Scolipede, which I think I caught this from Mighty. Oh, no. Cottony. Honestly, I like this Whimsicott, but the design on this is a little interesting, to say the least. Then we got Darumaka. We got the other Darumaka. A couple Scraggies, Archon and Archeops, Garbodor, Zoroark, which is honestly, I don't know if I should have kept the Zora. I don't know if I caught it as a Zora and evolved it just because, one, I needed the Dex entry filled out, and I don't wait for another shiny to evolve, typically, unless it's something, like, really rare. Then I don't, but if it's something that I can, like, manage, then, yeah. But here's this Solosis with a background, the shiny, they just had this event last weekend, so I believe I caught 2 with the background, and I actually caught one a while ago, yeah. So this one I caught, dang, that's crazy. That was already a while ago. I thought I caught that like last year, but yeah. Then we got the Vanillites, which is another cool Pokemon that is kind of slept on. Here we got Carablast, Fungus, and funny enough, I have a Hundo Shadow Among Us. Now we got some Alomomolas, Joltik, and hey, Whiskey, calm down, buddy. Now we got the Tynamos from the Tynamo Calm Day, which was also a pretty cool event. Just a very obscure, unique, niche Pokemon. Here we got some other random shinies. I hope we are getting close to the end. I know I have 1,000, but this is taking so much longer than I expected. I probably should have done a part 1 and part 2, but we're just going to go ahead and get through with this because, yeah, my last shiny account tour was almost a year ago, and I kind of wanted to compare it since it was like 10 or 11 months ago. So it's almost been a year, but I just wanted to see the results. Here is, Cobalion. This was the other one I was trying to remember whenever we were going over the fact that I caught the Moltres and the Articuno with the background, and I also caught Cobalion, so that's pretty cool. Here's Terrakion, Virizion, Thundurus, Kyurem with the background, which is actually really cool. Here we got the Meloetta, Chespin. I think there's several Chespin from a Calm Day. Finnegan was also from a Calm Day. Froakie as well. This Froakie actually is, I caught this Froakie with the hat during Halloween last year, and I evolved it. I don't know if I regret it or not because the Froakie was really cool, but I also just wanted the Greninja with the hat because it looks cooler to me. And then Fletchling I have 20 million of. It's one of the most annoying shinies I get all the time. Litleo, which I haven't evolved. We can honestly go ahead and evolve this Litleo now. I didn't do it for a while just because the shiny is pretty buns, but let's go ahead and do it so we can get it in the dex. So this is a shiny dex entry with the Mog Squad, and honestly it looks better than I thought. I remember looking it up and seeing it, and it just looked really bad, so I didn't do it, but this looks honestly not too terrible. So we're gonna go ahead and scroll down to the where we were at and see how much more we have left, and we can go ahead and start looking at them this way until the video is over, just because it's been a long video for my typical video style. So I believe we probably were really close to the end. Let's go ahead and see. We were on like right around here somewhere. Yeah, because we were just okay. So now we are on to these guys. I grinded the Druddigan Rage. I know I already passed that guy, but I grinded that Druddigan to get the shiny. Now we got a couple more, the Bebes and the Floettes. I'm not going to make them a buddy to evolve into the Forges yet, but yeah. And then now we got some pretty cool shinies. Now we got a couple Skiddos, and then we evolved one to Go-Go. I had a lot of really good luck with Esper. Those were just a bunch of wild spawns. We got some Skrelp, some Helioptile. Here's a Sylveon that I made one of my best buddies just because I need 10 best buddies for a challenge. Shiny Carbink is a brand new shiny that I got during GoFest. This was my 1000th shiny that I caught, so that's a pretty cool milestone in my collection. Here we got a ton of Rowlet. Then we got some Litten. Here's a Gumshoes, which honestly I kind of forgot that I had this guy. And now we got a bunch of insane amount of Grubbin and Crabrawlers. There we go. Here's a Ribombee. I believe that's how you say it. I've never I caught the Cutiefly like this year, I believe, and I evolved it for the Dex entry. Caught a couple Morlulls, got some Orangaroos. I lucky traded a Passimian because I didn't have it. Now we got a couple more. Funny story about this. I caught this on the day that Sandygast released as a shiny, and I was probably one of the first people in the entire actual Pokemon Go community to catch this as a shiny in Pokemon Go, just because I caught this like not even an hour after it released. So that's actually a pretty fun story about Sandygast. Then we got a Guzzlord, which I did a bunch of raids for because there was some sort of raid challenge I needed. Here's the Phalanx, the trained Phalanx from GoFest. This is actually really cool. Shiny costume. Now we got this guy. I don't know really what this is, what event this is from, but there was an event where a bunch of them were spawning this year. So now we got a couple of the new starters, a couple of this stuff, and then the newest, the like highest Pokemon in the Dex is my Dunsparce. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to cut the video off here so that way I don't waste too much more time of your guys' days. That was such a long video, but yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe again, and let's go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Peace.